Hey guys, hey, sorry I didn't post on Monday. I try to do videos somewhat in advance to have them ready for Monday morning, but I have been sick for about a week. My voice has been in and out. It just started to get better a day or two ago. Today I feel pretty good and still a little bit of congestion, but not too bad. So anyway, apologies for that. Trying to get back on the normal schedule here. So this is kind of like the Monday video for this past week. And then we'll have Thanksgiving, then I'll try to make one maybe Saturday or Sunday for Monday of next week. So this video is not specifically about this knife that you see. It's more just a discussion of I'm curious about other people and their hobby habits. And of course, you guys obviously know because I have this channel and stuff. Knives are one of my main hobbies. If not, I guess they would be my main hobby. I also enjoy Legos and watches a little bit. I sort of dabble in watches. And then that's pretty much it, I guess, now. There was a time there where I was getting spread pretty thin, like golf, knives, Legos, guns, watches, and it was too much. So I've really pared it down to just knives and Legos somewhat. I'm kind of getting out of those a little bit too. And then I'm sort of getting back into watches a little bit, which, like Nick Shabazz says, don't get into watches because they are a deep hole. So this is the Spyderco Mamba, and this knife is retired. But I think it's definitely one of my favorite models they've ever produced. You can see here it has these beautiful sculpted carbon fiber handles. And it has this upswept, I don't know what they call this blade. It's not like a Persian, maybe a Persian. But it has like this upswept blade with these flats on the sides. And then the darker areas that lead down to the edge. Just a beautiful piece. Again, easily one of my favorites that Spyderco has ever produced. And this went out of production a few years ago. It has, I think this is G10, this backspacer. And then it has these titanium liners. So the way it's disassembled is pretty interesting. So you actually take these two screws off and then the pivot screw out, and then these carbon fiber scales separate from the titanium liners. And aside from the pivot screw, these titanium liners, they're what hold everything together. So there are more screws underneath the carbon fiber that you also have to remove. So yeah, it's really a neat piece. As you can imagine, it's very thick just because of the way it's constructed. So you can see here, it is a very thick beast. It runs on bearings. I don't know. I think they're steel bearings. I actually just disassembled this knife a few days ago, and it was kind of interesting to see how it was put together. So that's pretty unusual for Spyderco's. So this is a Brend Perella design. You can see their mark there. I've never seen one of the customs for this model. I'm sure it's stunning, but yeah, this is easily one of my favorite Spyderco's. I haven't done a video on it, but I'll probably do more of a full video talking about the knife at some point. But yeah, so for this video, I wanted to discuss, like, how do you guys do your hobbies? I tend to get into something and get into it really, really heavy. So like when I got into guns, for example, I bought as many guns as I could. I took like training classes. I got my CCW. I got a holster. I started carrying and all this stuff. I would go to the range, just really hardcore into it. And then after, I don't know, a few months, a year, whatever, sort of transitioned out of it and sold some stuff and put the money into other hobbies like Legos or knives. And over the years, that's really kind of been my MO, I guess, with things. Like I'll get into something really heavy, dump a bunch of money into it, and then sort of cool off, sell a bunch of stuff, put that into a different hobby that I'm more interested in, and I'm probably, doing the exact same thing with. And then it just sort of circles around. It always seemed, though, that the knife hobby was somewhat resilient to that. So historically, what I've done, and you can see the sculpting on these, just a really, really nice knife. Historically with knives, it's been, I would buy a lot and then I would sell a few to buy a few more, or to buy an expensive one. That's typically how it would go. However, recently I wanted to get back into watches a little bit, and I'm not going to reveal what I intend to buy, but it required me to raise a large amount of capital. And I didn't really, I have some Lego sets and stuff, but I sold off a bunch of those a few months back to buy the custom Nirvana that I have. So I didn't really want to liquidate any more Legos, and they're kind of a pain because you have to disassemble them. The shipping can be expensive, and then if they arrive and there are pieces missing, then you have to work that out. So it can just be it's just kind of a pain. So I decided that this time it was best to liquidate my knives, or a bunch of them. So that's what I did. I don't know, a few days ago. I put up a bunch of posts. I think I ended up selling probably 30 knives or so. Yeah, this this watch is not cheap. But yeah, I didn't liquidate everything. I still have a few left, but probably 20 or so. But yeah, I sold off a bunch of knives, and just I don't know, I'm gonna dump it into watches. And I never really thought I would get back into watches to any degree, really. My wife bought me a really nice watch that I like a lot, but I didn't really think beyond that I would want to do it again. But here I am. So I guess I'm just curious how you guys do it. Like, do you have multiple hobbies and you sort of sell things and take the money and put it into other things, and just kind of have that rotating cycle? Or, that's really how I am now. Or do you have like one hobby that sort of dictates everything else, and most of your money goes into that? That's sort of how I was with knives. Just curious what you guys do. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be like that forever. I'm kind of getting to the point where I've experienced a lot of what I want to experience, like with knives. And I predominantly have the ones that I want. There will always be new things that come out, new things that I want to try. Like, I wouldn't mind trying a Koenig Arius or a Roosevelt or something, but I just want to try it, like check it out, and maybe just resell it. So yeah, I'm kind of getting to the point where I've tried a lot of the things, and my interest in the knife hobby it's not really going up, is maybe the best way to put it. So I don't know if I'll continue to sort of get out of it and just, I don't know, save my money towards watches, or maybe it'll shift back into Legos. I guess I'll see. But yeah, leave it in the comments below, like what you do. Maybe you only have one hobby. I don't know. Some people just like guns. Yeah, let me know. I'm curious, and I will do a video at some point talking about the purchase that required the selling off of so many of my pieces. So be on the lookout for that. It may be a few months, because I'll probably have to wait for this. So anyway, have a great Thanksgiving, and enjoy the time with your families, enjoy the downtime, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See you guys.